So I want to give a little bit of background about myself. I'm 35 years old and I've been dating for, I would say, the last 20 years. If you consider the girlfriend I had in high school when I was 16. So I have quite a bit of experience, especially the last 10 years. I started studying the pickup arts as well as red pill. And I noticed quite a few patterns throughout that time. For this video, I want to give some tips of what to do on a first date and run through my usual routine. So, when you ask a girl out, I would suggest that you pick a coffee shop, somewhere usually close to your place, because most likely, if you met her online, you want to take her back to your place at the end of that date, whatever you're doing. I would say at that coffee shop for about an hour, hour and a half max. Um, I say coffee because it's very casual. You're not eating something, it lets you have a conversation. When you eat, you sort of have to take a pause, put something in your mouth, chew. It's really hard to talk at the same time. Coffee is also cheaper. So if you are having multiple dates during the week, you will be spending quite a bit of money if you're choosing restaurants, especially in today's economy. So I'd say choose a coffee shop. Make sure the coffee shop makes you look good. Your choice represents you. So if you choose a trendy coffee shop, say Starbucks over something we have in Canada called Tim Hortons, the Starbucks will make you look a lot better. I would suggest to even go farther and choose a coffee shop that isn't that popular, but is still trendy and still has a very nice interior. Then when you sit with the girl, make sure you sit in front of her. You could try side by side, but the reason why I sit in front of her is because this way you can work on making lots of eye contact. And eye contact is innately seductive. A few of my theories is that when you make eye contact, first you look focused, which shows signs of intelligence. You don't have ADD, ADHD, you have the ability to stare at something and focus on it. Another is it can be a little bit intimidating. It can make somebody feel a little bit nervous. And innately, women find intimidating men attractive. So if you, as a man, can make a girl feel a little bit nervous, that's going to score you points. Thirdly, I would say don't talk too much. Maybe you're a chatty guy, you enjoy having lots of conversation with your friends. Don't do it on a date. Simply ask questions and make lots of eye contact while she's answering. Start simple. How was your day? Start with that question. And then slowly you can lead to much more deeper, more meaningful questions. Either way, it doesn't really matter what you talk about as long as you listen so that you can respond appropriately and you focus on making lots of eye contact. It seems quite simple. It seems like it would be something useless to do, but it actually works. It's just how female psychology works. I don't know what to tell you. If it works, it works. I wouldn't put much thought behind it. Don't analyze it too much because you'll find patterns that you think are meaningful, but not necessarily. When it comes to dating, it, it isn't so much patterns that you're finding. It See, we want to find patterns because we want to, once we come up with a technique, we want to understand why that technique works so that we can come up with new techniques. But that's not always the case. In my experience, find something that works, memorize it, and do it again. And find something else that works that may or may not pertain to that original pattern, to that original technique. Memorize it. It's more of a summation of techniques instead of patterns. In my opinion, this seems to have worked quite well in the past. Um, I live in Toronto. I grew up in Toronto, which is probably one of the hardest cities for a man when it comes to dating. And my lay count is somewhere between 250 and 300 in the span of 20 years. It doesn't seem like a lot, but from what I've gathered, from what I've asked other men, it's much, much higher. It's a much higher number than what other men have been able to achieve. Okay, so you're at the coffee shop, you're asking lots of questions and just locking eyes. If she looks away, continue looking at her. Another small trick that you can use is rub your chin or your beard as she's talking, as if you're analyzing what she's saying. Doesn't matter what she's saying, as long as you're doing this motion. It's more about the body language than it is about what you say. I think it's more important that you don't say things that she might deem as dumb. That way, she won't judge you negatively, and you focus more on the body language. See, if you talk too much, you are likely to say something that she'll judge, and most women will immediately disqualify you. Most women in North America, at least. So I would say ask questions. Don't give your opinion too much. Stay quiet. Don't even have too many expressions, and make lots of eye contact. Try to intimidate her with your eye contact. Do this thing where you rub your chin. I've gotten compliments, women telling me I look smart. They think I'm smart, where I haven't really said much. All I did was ask questions and I did this gesture, which makes me look like I'm thinking. Again, if you told me this many years ago, I would think it's dumb. But if it works, it isn't dumb. If it works, it needs to be taken into consideration. So once you've done that for about an hour, I would say, maybe you're done your coffee. What I do is I take a break. I take a washroom break. I go to the washroom. I use the washroom. This gives her an opportunity to think, to consider: is she going to go home with you? How does she feel about you? And so on and so forth. And if you didn't say anything stupid, you made lots of eye contact, you focus on your body language. And something that I missed, also make sure you wear something nice. Focus on your fashion. Even if you're not fit, I would say women take fashion into consideration equally as much as fitness. So if you spend a couple of years in the gym and don't dress nice, it would do the same as if you don't go to the gym at all and you improve on your fashion. Of course, if you do both, then you're taking care of all the aspects of your looks. Make sure you get a haircut as well. Always keep a clean look to your presentation. That's extremely important when it comes to women. I would say presentation might be just as important as genetic looks. So go to the restroom, come back, and then in this moment you're trying to get her back to her place. So don't ask. Have a reason to go back to her place. The reason doesn't have to be very intricate. It could be for drinks, if she likes to drink wine. It could be for tea, even though you're at a coffee shop already. It doesn't matter. Just have a small reason so that she has an excuse to get closer to you, and possible deniability, a possible way to tell herself that she ended up having sex with you without much accountability on her part. So stand next to the table and say, "Let's go back to my place for some tea." Say it in a very assertive tone. Don't ask. Definitely don't ask a question. Be commanding. Say it in a low voice and be assertive when you say it. Don't smile. Assume like she's going to say yes. Assume like you're already dating, and there's absolutely no reason to say no. She's your girlfriend, and you're just saying, let's go home. Just like that. Let's go back to my place for some tea. And have the body language as if she's about to get up and walk. Usually they do. Now let's assume that she does. Simply drive back to your place, or if you met at the coffee shop, have her follow you, or if you walk there, walk back with her, whatever. Get to your place, maybe make some tea, pour some water, whatever, wine, whatever you're gonna drink, and continue having the conversation in a very similar fashion. I'd say don't wait more than 20 minutes or half an hour. At some point, you'll know there will be a moment where the conversation seems to die down. There'll be a break. She'll take a break. It'll feel as if she's starting to get tired. Perhaps she's wondering when you're going to make a move. There's a break in the conversation. What I usually do in that moment, it's usually after about 20 minutes of talking back in my place. Say, excuse me, I have to use the washroom. Cool. Then go to the washroom again, very similar to the way you did at the coffee shop. Come back, and then get her to go to the sofa or the bedroom, wherever it is where you're about to close. So in this moment, what I usually do is I come back from the washroom and I say, let's continue over here. Again, in a commanding tone, lower your voice, and definitely don't have approval seeking, asking for permission type of body language. Assume as if it's going to happen. Think of a strict teacher when you were a kid, the way that they spoke to you, the way that they spoke to the kids. It's also a good idea to keep in mind that you shouldn't try to break the ice too much on a date. Don't try to create too much comfort, because what you want is compliance. What you want is, you could call it obedience to some extent. You should visualize it as so. Most men are trying to visualize the dynamic of a date as you're trying to seduce the girl, you're trying to attract the girl, you're trying to get her to like you, but I don't think that's the nature, the biology of the sexual dynamic within humans. You're seeking obedience, you're seeking compliance, and in this same fashion, this dynamic is what turns women on the most, right? Most men are trying to be attractive in the way that women are attractive. I don't think that that's the case. I think women attract, women seduce with their looks, and men conquer. I think that's the nature of things, the nature of humans. You see a lot of mammals, when elephants have sex, when they mate, the male chases the female, and then they have sex. I think our nature is a lot more like that, except through laws and through societal conditioning, we have sort of inhibited that part of us. So we find suboptimal ways of attracting partners. Well, men do, because women still get to dress sexy, put on makeup, look pretty. That's always been the way that that's always been the natural way that a woman attracts a male partner. Men, in the other hand, they use their masculinity, which is their physical prowess, their ability to intimidate. Yet, you know, in our culture, we can't do that for obvious reasons. So we have to use suboptimal ways to attract a partner. We have to use ways that are similar to women's form of attraction. We have to dress well, we have to be eloquent, so on and so forth. But keep in mind that it is still within her nature to be attracted to a dominant man. So when you when you try to make sex happen, don't ask. Definitely never ask. Don't look like you're seeking her approval, her permission. Don't look like you're trying to seduce her. Look like you're trying to get her obedience. A dominant man gets obedient. Women obey dominant men. See it that way. Don't see it as women comply with men who are pretty, attractive. Women will say that they find whatever actor, I don't know, pretty faces, pretty boys attractive. But no, women are attracted to bad boys um, at a deep biological level. The definition of a bad boy is that he does bad things. He doesn't try to seduce. He doesn't try to attract. He just takes. He's selfish. He's 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 narcissistic, psychopathic. He seeks obedience. He doesn't seek attraction. So try to picture that in your mind when every time that you're making a move. So when you come back from the washroom during the date, you say, "Come over here," in a commanding tone, and she should obey, given that the date goes well. If she doesn't obey, we'll talk about that in other videos. It does get a little more tricky, obviously, and expect that to happen. Don't expect everything to go well. But in most cases, if she came back to your place, if she's not there to in some kind of malevolent way, she's not looking to blue ball a guy, then she should obey. She might ask why. What I do in that case, I say, "You'll see." They get curious. They usually do it. And then my closing technique is with a massage. I say, lay on the bed facing down, or lay on the couch facing down. And usually they start doing it. Have the body language like they are going to do it. If you have a ring, start taking it off. And then start massaging her. And then use your imagination. After 5 minutes, start taking that massage. Slowly start making it inappropriate. Take it to the next level. Turn the massage into sex. So, massage is good because it relaxes the person. It relaxes you. It teases the girl too. You're massaging her slowly. You're getting to the private parts, so on and so forth. One good technique that I use is I take the massage from the back. I start taking it down to the legs. Start massaging the legs, the butt, and then get very, very close to the genitals. Get very close to that area, but don't touch it. And do it on purpose. Do it on purpose so that she feels teased. Women love being teased. Sometimes they tease men, and I believe that they think men like that, but that's not the case. Men and women are very different when it comes to the biological things like sex or fighting. We're very different when it comes to that. So, tease that area. Go up the leg, the inner thigh, and then move away from it. Inner thigh, stop right before you get to that point. And then eventually, actually rub right in between the legs. And then once she accepted that, there was no resistance, nothing like that, then continue in between the legs, massage in between the legs, and then you'll know what to do from there. If she does resist at some point, she begins to get up. What I usually do is I put my hand on her back, and then I say in a deep voice, "Don't make it awkward." Usually, this technique works, and then continue the massage from there. So, yeah, this is my routine for a first date. I've been using it for a long time. It seems to work very well. I highly recommend it. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe because that's going to inspire me to make more videos. That's going to make the channel grow, and the channel is just starting out. So hopefully I can share my 20 years of experience with everybody. Have a good day.